Fujimaru is just a regular guy with barely any magical ability in the mage world. No inherited powers, no powerful family background, and he wasn't even a mage to begin with. He really struggled to do anything because, at least at first, he could barely function as a mage. And honestly, I think that's perfectly fine. Fujimaru doesn't need to be some destined chosen one, some reincarnation of an all-powerful being or someone who's born with insane potential. As someone who's watched a lot of shonen anime and read a bunch of manga, we're used to seeing main characters who seem normal at first, until it's revealed they've had some crazy power hidden inside them all along. Or they were already strong from the start, and over time, more and more layers of inherited power started to unfold. Or maybe they were chosen early on because of their insane potential to defeat the final boss. Fujimaru is the complete opposite. He's basically just some guy who got caught up in something way bigger than himself. Well, no, he didn't really get caught up. He was more like the guy on the discard list. He only had to join because everyone else was out of commission, literally in comas. He didn't ask for any of this, but now he's in the middle of this huge conflict and has no choice but to step up. Heck, even Lev, our enemy, didn't consider Fujimaru a threat at all because of how low he ranked among all the master candidates. And I really love characters like that. You could call him an underdog. Someone way at the bottom of the chart who gets dragged into a huge fight, but step by step, he grows, bit by bit. Now, talking about this type of character, there are actually a lot of them. The ones who start from the bottom and work their way up, reaching the top through pure effort, like Guy or Rock Lee. These people don't have inherited power. They don't have some blessed body or crazy talent. They're not the chosen ones, but they still do whatever they can to be at the top. Well, another good example of this kind of character is Koichi from My Hero Academia Vigilantes. But it's a big spoiler. Still, I'll bring it up because maybe it'll hype you up to check out the anime. So the MC of Vigilantes, Koichi, is another example of someone who was never chosen. No family lineage, no sudden god-tier power-ups, and definitely not the type to win fights solo. But through experience, determination, and being pushed into tough situations, he slowly becomes strong in his own way. So strong, in fact, that it confuses All For One, the main villain in MHA, who literally has to check Koichi's background to make sure he's not secretly hiding some inherited superpower. Well, he's not. He just made the most of what he had, a lame quirk that he turned into something insanely versatile and heroic. And that's kinda like Fujimaru. Sure, he gets the ability to summon heroic spirits, but that's not even his innate power. The Chaldea summoning system granted that. Fujimaru himself started with nothing. I think what really shows his development is his emotional strength. The ability to lead and command, that's something anyone could potentially have. Just look at him in the beginning. He was a guy who just wanted to go home after seeing the world burn. And after a lot of hard missions and tough situations, now he can stand toe-to-toe with the strongest mages in history, facing off against prodigies, and you already know the rest. No, he can't fight enemies alone, and yeah, he doesn't have any crazy innate abilities. But the way he fights, commands, the way he throws himself into danger and somehow pulls through, that's what makes him impressive. We don't get to see much of this in the game since it focuses more on the servants doing the fighting, but the manga really highlights how versatile and reckless. When he's struggling and cornered in a life-or-death situation, he doesn't suddenly get a power-up from some secret family bloodline or a prophecy about being a prodigy. What he does is push every little skill he has way past the limit, whether it's his command ability, small tricks from his mystic code, or just pure human instinct. He squeezes out everything he's got just to survive. And even now, he still hasn't had some inner power revealed. And honestly, I really hope Fujimaru stays as the wrong guy. Someone who isn't chosen. Someone who pushes forward without any blessing from destiny. Now, if you don't like it, that's fine. A lot of people would get hyped if a regular character turned out to be the son of some god, or even a god in hiding himself. Kinda reminds me of Naruto. At first, Naruto was that loud kid who struggled with jutsu because he had the nine-tailed fox sealed inside him. But with training, missions, and constant rivalry with his friends, he got stronger. Way stronger. And as viewers, we were hyped watching him grow. He even managed to control the fox's power by literally defeating it and using its strength as his own. All of that was earned. But then, there was that one episode where it's revealed he's actually the reincarnation of a super ancient, all-powerful ninja. Not only that, he's also the chosen one who was destined to bring peace to the world. Sure, that moment was hype for a lot of people. I felt it too. But at the same time, it kinda took something away from everything he had been through. Remember that time Naruto fought his friend, who believed that destiny couldn't be changed? Naruto stood up to him, saying he would be the one to prove that destiny can be rewritten. He won that fight and changed his friend's mindset by proving that even a so-called failure like him could beat a so-called genius. That was powerful. But then it revealed that Naruto was destined for greatness all along. Chosen by the sage to save the world, reincarnation of some legendary ninja. And suddenly, that whole rewrite your destiny thing feels kinda empty. There are already tons of people on YouTube who talk about this exact point. You can look it up. Now imagine if Fujimaru, after surviving through all those singularities and lost belts, suddenly gets a crazy reveal like, oh, by the way, he's actually the son of a god-tier mage, or he was blessed by fate to save the world. Yeah, not gonna lie, at first I'd be hyped. That kind of plot twist always feels epic in the moment, but after a while, it would feel empty. Because then his growth into someone brave and mentally unshakable wouldn't be because of him, but because of some non-human explanation, and that would suck. Because to me, Fujimaru represents humanity itself. He's proof that human potential is never zero. You don't need to be chosen by destiny or born with insane power to make a difference. Sometimes it's just about being stubborn enough to keep going. And I think that's the beauty of this MC. The false hero who claimed victory for humanity, born from humanity itself, using the power we're all born with. Well, he is also using magic a bit, but you guys get the point. Now that I think about it, I think the fact that their whole crew is kind of made up of false people is actually really beautiful. Like, take Dr. Roman. He's literally King Solomon, the guy who could see the future, but he gave that all up, lost that power, and ended up becoming the one running the command center. And honestly, he had to struggle way more as Roman than he ever did as Solomon. Then there's Mash. She's a designer baby, someone who was supposed to be a subordinate to the Cryptors, just a catalyst for summoning heroic spirits, basically a meat shield for the initial members. But instead, she ends up being Fujimaru's main partner. And of course, Fujimaru, just some random person, not even a mage, who somehow became the final master and actually managed to complete every single mission thrown at him. It's just really amazing when you look at it like that. A group of people who were never meant to be the real ones, but still gave it their all and ended up saving the world. What do you guys think? Click subscribe and I'll see you guys next time.